While all eyes are on Washington, D.C. right now, with just hours to go until the inauguration of the president-elect. These are live pictures of the Capitol tonight from Washington, D.C. and the National Mall. But with what many see as a divided nation in the middle of a pandemic, what will the former vice president have to say to unify the country? Joining us tonight is Dr. Matthew Schmidt, professor of national security and political science at the University of New Haven. Doctor, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
What are you hoping to hear in Joe Biden's speech coming up tomorrow when he takes the oath?
I think that Joe Biden has to be Joe Biden. He has to connect with people. I think we saw it tonight as he left Delaware, and we saw it again in his speech at the memorial. He's going to use his oratorical skills to make people feel safer than they felt in a long time with this pandemic. He's going to go through and discuss his priorities. He's going to lay them out in a non-exaggerated way. He's going to come across as authoritative, right? As calming, as competent.
Now, he has said repeatedly over the past few months that he wants to work to bring everybody together. Do you think he can actually win over some Republicans, especially as divided as the country seems to be right now? Folks still stand with President Trump. They believe in him. Do you see them ever coming and following along with what the president-elect has to say?
There's a subsection of people in the Republican Party that are never going to move towards Joe Biden, that will never accept him as a legitimate president. The outgoing president, right, has made sure of that by stoking that idea over and over again. But you do see, I think, in the Senate with McConnell's response of late to the insurrection at the Capitol, that I think there will be elected members of the party who will work with Biden, that they knew him for years when he was in Congress. And I think there will be a large chunk of the Republican Party out there, right, in America, that are going to respond to Joe Biden's basic decency and his basic competence.
Lastly, Doctor, we don't have a lot of time left, but obviously the transition here was different than what we've seen in the past. Do you think there will be long-term implications from that?
Yes, I think essentially what happened with Donald Trump, we thought never could happen yesterday, and then it did. And that means that's a possibility forever going on into the future. And so America's armor sort of took a ding, and our allies and our enemies will look at us different now out there in the world because we're not exceptional, as it turns out.
Matthew Schmidt from the University of New Haven, we thank you very much for joining us tonight. We certainly appreciate it.
My pleasure.